Hello folks, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing with the magic hand. Somebody told me on one of my videos I should be like a hand model. Absolutely love it. Today is July 5th. It was my day to celebrate July 4th because I had a very busy day yesterday. Grateful to all my customers. I love every one of them. The gentleman I did the Cadillac for, I was in contact with him today. I typically follow up with my customers. Here's a little tip for you pro detailers. When you're providing a service like paint correction, engine bay details, specialty services, I think, in my opinion, if you want to build relationships with your clients, it's always best to get in contact with them the next day and make sure they're still happy, to make sure that they, if they have any questions they didn't think about after you left from the appointment, they have an opportunity to talk to you once again. My customers are always available to me, regardless if I've done something for them 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever the case may be. Another little tip for pro detailers. We get into the holiday season like Christmas time, Thanksgiving, some of those nice holidays where we're all together as families. If you're a pro detailer and you have some pretty loyal customers or customers who seem to use you on a regular basis, just a little tip, I always think it's nice to get a little card, get their name, their phone number when you're at their home, or not phone number, their address, and just send them a little thank you. Tell them that you're thinking about them. Again, it's not a game of smoke and mirrors. I do it to be genuine. In business, yes, I need relationships to be able to provide income for myself, but more importantly, and I know this will probably sound crazy, the relationships I build with people is far more important to me. But okay, I want to do a video. I had a company and I can't mention their name, it's not Griots, but they sent me, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I'm actually not going to keep this 6-inch random orbital. This is a brand new orbital that came in a box. It comes with a pad, its tool, its wrench, brushes, also a one-step sealant, and a correcting pad. I happen to own a couple of these. I don't need it. I'm grateful for the company who sent it to me. I cannot use their name, I'm sorry. But they wanted me to talk about this versus the 6-inch dual action polisher or orbital by Harbor Freight and give you guys my opinion about the two of them. This model here is actually going to be going to somebody I know in the Dallas area who's trying to start a business. He's in a financial crunch and difficulty, but he's incredibly gifted and a young man, so I'm going to help him. So I'm grateful that this was given to me. I can do whatever I want with it, but I'm going to give it to somebody else. Sorry about that. If one of you guys on the video is like, Scott, I could use it, I've already reached out to the other gentleman and told him I would help him. So, in this video here, I have both the Griot 6-inch random orbital. It comes in a kit. And then I have the dual action polisher by Harbor Freight. Many of you know I use this quite a bit. I use it in a lot of my videos. I even use it professionally, sometimes on a daily basis. I do have some other tools. I have rotaries and I have some other stuff. But you guys kind of know, if you've been following my channel, I believe for the dollar, for the bang for your buck, this is a great little machine. Doesn't mean it's perfect, okay? That's not what I'm saying. The Griots, I've got a lot of time with this 6-inch random orbital. If we look at this thing right off the bat, if we look at this, are we in the camera? Yeah. If we look at these two machines, one thing you'll notice right away, the handle or the body of the Griots machine is a little bit fatter around, okay? The Harbor Freight dual action polisher is much more streamlined. To me, in my professional opinion, and using both of these for a long period of time, I don't have gorilla hands. I have, if I wear a glove, I wear about a size large. I tend to find, this doesn't mean Griots is a bad machine, I'm just kind of going through this and being transparent with you. I find the smaller handle that's a little bit, it's not as fat or round, is a little bit more comfortable in my hand. It's also tapered as it comes down towards the speed dial. It's not going to make or break your world, but I'm just trying to give you all the information that you need. This is a little bit more comfortable in my hands, to be honest with you. Now, when I hold the Griots machine, one thing I notice immediately right off the bat, this is far heavier than the dual action polisher by Harbor Freight. I am willing to say I don't have a scale with me right now, but if I hold this thing in my right hand, then I hold this in my right hand, I want to say it's probably about a pound. Just taking a guess, this feels about a pound heavier. Yes, it has the D handle on it. You can take this D handle off if you want. In fact, I don't ever use the D handle on any of the polishers or a handle off the side. It's just a personal preference. I like having my hand right over the head of the machine. But this little D handle is not changing the weight drastically versus the Harbor Freight. That's my point. Now, in my opinion, this is far more, because the unit is completely encased in plastic, except for the area where your counterweight is. This is made out of metal. The Harbor Freight DA is also made out of plastic. The top of this has a lot more metal exposed. It does have a plastic cover over the head, so when you've got your hand on it, you're not going to feel the heat that is generated from the gear mechanism inside this dual action polisher. But I will be completely honest and transparent with you. When you're using the dual action polisher by Harbor Freight, because it's not completely encased in plastic, these metal pieces will get a little warm. It's not going to burn you. It's not that type of heat. But when you're using this for a long period of time, you'll start to feel areas around here, especially if you don't have the handle on it, you're putting your hand over the head, you will feel areas get pretty warm, hot, won't burn you, but that could be a little uncomfortable for some. To me, it's not a big deal. I know how to work it. Where this unit, when you're working it for a long period of times, yes, it will get warm. It's venting. The motor vents out of the side of the casing here, but there's far less metal that transfers heat and holds on to heat, so it's a little bit more comfortable. If you're uncomfortable working around stuff that could be a little bit warm, like metals, that's an added bonus here with the Griot's 6-inch orbital versus the 6-inch from Harbor Freight. So the Griot's is a little bit fatter around. It's a little bit heavier. It comes with that D handle. The Harbor Freight one comes with a straight line handle that would come off the side of the machine. So they're a little bit different. The speed dial on the Griot's is on the top, just like the speed dial on the Harbor Freight is also on the top as well, easy to access. Now, where the Griot's kind of stands out to me is that the switch is on the top, right? Whoops, excuse me, I forgot these things are plugged in. The switch is on the top. Now, that's a convenient place for it to be, right? Your hand is always going to be here. You can just hit it with your thumb and you're ready to rock and roll. The Harbor Freight DA, the switch is on the side when you buy it. Yes, there are videos out there where you can actually modify this thing and you can turn the handle and have the switch right here by your thumb on the top side of the dual action polisher. It can be done, but it doesn't come that way, just to let you know that. Now, because I've got these plugged in, and that was an important part of this video, how do they... I'm actually going to make two separate videos. I'm just going to talk about them for this moment, and then I'm going to show them in action in my next video. If I hold this thing in my hand, I notice it's heavier. Happens to have a 6-inch plate on it, which is really nice. All the parts that come with the Griot's machine, the backing plate, completely fine. Hold on to it. It's a nice, good quality backing plate. The backing plate that comes with the dual action polisher by Harbor Freight, I would recommend you don't use this backing plate. They're just, I hate the word piece of junk. It sounds judgmental. But from my opinion, this is a piece of junk. Don't use it. Get yourself a high quality backing plate. Something by Buff and Shine or Lake Country or McGuire's. You'll be far better and you'll get better results. These things don't tend to be centered right. They're a little bit wobbly. And the Velcro system likes to give up the ghost sometimes when it starts to get warm. The pad can actually start to want to come off it. So just letting you know that I wouldn't use the backing plate that comes with the Harbor Freight tool. The difference here with Griot's, everything you get in the kit with the box is ready to go. You're going to get this high quality backing plate. It happens to be a 6-inch backing plate. It's high quality. It flexes a little bit. It's soft on the edges, which is nice when you're working on contours. The other thing the kit comes with is that you get a little bit more in the kit than you do with the dual action polisher by Harbor Freight. They're going to give you a correcting pad with it. This happens to be their 6.5-inch orange foam correcting pad. The quality of these pads is fine. They're an entry-level professional pad. I don't use these on a professional level on a daily basis, but this pad is perfectly adequate for somebody who may be just taking care of their daily driver or just taking care of a couple of cars in their driveway. It's a nice quality correcting pad, so it comes with one of those. That's nice that Griot throws it in the kit, including a high quality backing plate. They also give you in the kit a little sample. This happens to be an 8-ounce sample of the one-step sealant. This one-step sealant is kind of like a cleaner wax. It's kind of like HD Speed. It's kind of, it's kind of like Griot's new Boss Fast, their Boss system with their finishing sealant. The quality of this is not as high as HD Speed, not as high as the Boss system with their finishing sealant, but I remember using this years ago. I don't use it today on a professional level because there's a lot better products out there. But for a car enthusiast that wants to use an all-in-one, this is basically what this is an all-in-one polish. It will polish paint, remove light defects, and leave sealant behind. I think it's great that Griot includes this in the kit. It's an 8-ounce container. You'll get several cars with this. And this sealant, when I remember using it many, many years ago, I was awfully impressed with it when it first came out. It works rather well. The new all-in-ones are far better, but that doesn't make this thing, you know, it still has a place within whether you're a pro detailer or a car enthusiast. So I think it's really nice that Griot offers this with their kit. So I want to tell you that. It also comes with its tool. There's a tool. I love that word, tool. There's a tool here. You get a little Allen bit. You get the little wrench to be able to take the backing plate off. If you want to go to a 5-inch backing plate or a 3-inch backing plate, you can do that. This particular unit, both units actually come with a 6-inch counterweight. A lot of people ask me, Scott, it came with the 6-inch, has a 6-inch counterweight. If I go to a 5-inch backing plate, should I put a 5-inch counterweight in it? Well, you can if you want. It will help with a little bit of vibration, but in my professional opinion, I'm not sure you're really going to feel the difference at all. It's not going to hurt the machine. I know Griot would probably disagree because there's liability, there's all that good stuff. They don't want you ruining their machine. I've used both of these machines for years, always left a 6-inch counterweight that's in them, and always used either a 6-inch pad, a 5-inch pad, or a 3-inch pad. And I use it professionally on a daily basis. I have not seen an issue with doing that, so I just wanted to be transparent and pass that along with you. It also comes with a set of brushes. If you need to change the brushes in the unit, Griot includes the brushes in that. That's really nice. Now the last part of this video, because I'm not going to show them in action in this particular video, glad we're at 12 minutes. I want to be completely transparent. If I hold this thing in my hand, I'm going to turn this on so we can hear it. I'll go ahead. It's on speed 6. I already know right off the bat that this machine is slightly smoother, slightly quieter, less vibration, but there is something very interesting, and I noticed this on my own machines too. I have it set to speed 6, which is, I think, what, 6,800 orbits per minute. They don't rate a dual action polisher by RPMs, it's oscillations per minute. So this is running at 6,800 OPMs when I turn it on, it's on speed 6. What I do notice with Griot's machine, it's not the end of the world, it's not going to make or break your world. I'm going to turn this on and go from 6 to 5. What I notice, in my professional opinion, there really is no difference between 6 and 5, but I'll show you. That's 5. That's 6. Going from speed 6 to 5, it's just a slight difference in OPM. Sometimes you may not even realize it unless you get that 5 right in the middle of the dial. But if you're between, I don't even know why I bring it up, but I just noticed it. It's one of those little annoying things. If I'm working it and I want to go down to speed 5, I don't really feel much of a difference in speed. Not going to make or break your world, but I just want to be transparent about it. When you go 5 to 4, then you really start to hear the machine slow down. You can feel the difference. If I run, so that's pretty quiet. For a dual action polisher right out of the bag, that's pretty quiet. Vibration is relatively low. It's still got vibration to it. Now I'm going to turn this on and make sure it's on speed 6. I'll turn this one on. Okay. This is far more, I don't want to say louder, but it is louder than the 6-inch Griot's machine. There is slightly a little bit more vibration. I did something with this machine. I actually took it apart and changed the head grease in it. I took the Chinese grease out of it and I put Valvoline. I think it was the blue grease that I put inside the head assembly, and I also changed the bearings, which I don't want to say drastically changed the vibration of the noise, but it did help. So this is a modified unit. If I run this thing, it's slightly louder than the Griot's. There is a little bit more vibration, but not going to kill your world as far as vibration is concerned, but it is noticeably louder than the Griot's machine, so that may change your mind a little bit. It's a little bit lighter. I like the way it feels in the hand. That's just up to you. If you've got really big hands, maybe the Griot's machine's a little bit more relevant for you. This is a little bit lighter, in my opinion, than the Griot's machine. So where do I stand professionally? I love them both. They are both, in their own right, used in the right application, exceptional. And I'm talking about a Harbor Freight piece of Chinese crap in some people's opinion. That little machine, from what I understand, you can get coupons and it costs $49. This is about $150 to $160. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, only taking care of 1 or 2 cars, you're on a tight budget, this Harbor Freight tool is going to get you far, in my opinion. If you're a car enthusiast and you want something that doesn't vibrate as much, a little bit quieter, you want a smoother running machine, and you have more disposable income, you're going to pay about $100 more for the Griot's, then do it. It's so worth it. Both machines are great. But if you're in a financial tough bracket, go with this one. You'll be fine. It'll work. Both of them have identical power, in my opinion. Both will give you some really nice correction. But overall, for $100 more, you're going to be getting a less vibration. You're going to get a little bit of a quieter machine. Is it high quality? Well, I'm willing to say it's built in China as well. Most things are. But Griot's does make, or they're controlling the Chinese manufacturer with this thing. I assume it's made in China. It's got to be, right? All these things are probably made in China, although they're companies in Washington State, and I think in Indiana is where they do all their development, but I'm sure it's made in China. But overall, if for $100 more, if you're a professional detailer working on cars on a daily basis, doing a lot of paint correction, if you've got the extra $100 to spend, I would say, yeah, this is a great buy for you. You're going to get very, very far with this as well. It's a high quality, great machine. I also own both, so I can go both ways. It really doesn't matter to me. I tend to use this one a little bit more than the Griot's. I know that kind of sounds weird, right? But this is a little bit heavier. Maybe it's my age. I'm getting a little tired, guys. This thing is lighter. I can get around the car on certain panels a little bit easier with it. Yes, there's more vibration. Yes, it's a little bit louder. That stuff doesn't really make or break my world. And believe me, I'm doing a lot of paint correction. I love both of them. Both of them are great. Depending on where you are in your financial bracket or what kind of disposable income you have, you're going to do fine either way. I think for professional detailers, this is a great machine to have as a backup, maybe just to use on headlights, or maybe when you get called out to kind of do some bird dropping removal or something. You want a little machine you can just take out of your truck pretty quick, do what you got to do. It's great. I think for $49, how could you go wrong? You got to buy the thing. It's like begging you to do it. I love them both. They both have their place. They both have their pros and cons. I just wanted to share that with you. My next video will be showing these two in action, and we'll kind of go that way. Sorry, 19-minute video, but I wanted to honor the company that sent it to me. I got a lot of time with the Griot's machine. I also have a tremendous time with this machine as well. I love them both. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Love one another.